The exhumed remains laid on the table, restraints around the wrists and ankles of the skeleton. The mechanism holding the dark matter crystal hovered above the ribcage. All previous resurrection attempts had failed. Dr. Johnson hoped this time would be different. His eyes glimmered with barely concealed anticipation. Several lower-ranking scientists stood around him.
Behold,
he gestured through the glass to the remains upon the table.
The remnants of the legacy that humanity discarded. The Divinia, spiritual guardians who once walked among us, guiding us, protecting and nurturing us. But humanity eventually turned them away, and they were all hunted to extinction. Now we are reaping the consequences of our long-deceased ancestors' careless actions. We all stand on the precipice of our own destruction. That is why we are here today, with 2 fresh, fully intact sets of remains. We will not fail this time,
he said, a determination lacing his voice. The younger researchers exchanged uneasy glances, each daring not to question the significance of what was about to unfold, especially if the attempt was successful. Dr. Emily Hargrove watched Dr. Johnson carefully. He had never held this sort of reverence in his tone before, though beneath it she could still hear his calculating pragmatism.
Watch, listen, and be fulfilled. We are crafting history as we speak,
Dr. Johnson said softly. The countdown began as the mechanical arm lowered.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The moment the crystal made contact with the ribcage, it was torn from the arm and embedded into the sternum, seeping into the marrow itself. The lights above flickered and burst as the skeleton began to violently shake. Tissue, black as ink, began to form. Innards within the bones, tendons, flesh. As the lungs and throat pipe formed, lurching forward against the ribs, an angered, almost unearthly growl escaped from the rapidly reforming remains. Muscle black as night and skin pale as birch began to form, with bright, richly orange fur sprouting on top. 2 piercing amber eyes filled the sockets, and black gums covered long, gleaming white teeth. The 9 tailbones connected to the spine seemed to ignite in black flame, crumbling to ash as the fully formed creature strained and tore free from its restraints. The creature's fur bristled as it hunched on all fours, its glowing amber eyes darting around the sterile lab. Its breathing was sharp and ragged, a guttural growl rumbling deep in its chest. It ran clawed hands over its newly formed skin and fur, its movement erratic and panicked.
Vashlanar, Morak therein, near Thelan!
It barked, its voice like an unearthly growl reverberating against the walls. It froze for a moment, its ears twitching as a flicker of realization crossed its features. Slowly, cautiously, it tried again.
Ilath, near Lan. Vash, near Thelan.
There was a moment of hesitation before it rasped, in perfect, unbroken English.
What is this? Why am I speaking this tongue?
The scientists exchanged bewildered glances. One of them, trembling, raised his hands cautiously. "Please, we don't want to hurt you," he stammered. The creature staggered back, its sharp claws digging into the floor as its eyes widened in shock.
"You speak it too?"
it muttered, its voice laced with confusion and rising frustration.
This cannot be. How can I understand you? How can you understand me?
Its hands clenched into fists as it paced unsteadily, its movements animalistic yet eerily calculated.
This language, it is foreign, and yet I know it. It's in my mind, my thoughts, upon my tongue. What have you done to me?
Its demand came out harsher this time, the growl returning to its tone as it faced the scientists with narrowed eyes.
Please, calm yourself. The process of your resurrection may have linked you to the technology in this lab. It's possible that the knowledge stored here, language for instance, was transferred to your mind.
Dr. Johnson said, stepping forward from the observation room, slowly, with measured footfalls. The creature's ears pinned back as it snarled, its sharp teeth glinting in the light of the lab.
Resurrection?
It spat, the word foreign and bitter on its tongue.
What madness do you speak of? I was dead.
Its voice cracked at the last word, as though the very concept threatened to unravel its composure. Dr. Johnson nodded, his gaze steady.
You were brought back using advanced technology, something that has never been successfully done before.
The creature's body trembled as it processed this revelation, its claws flexing against its thighs.
Brought back,
it repeated, the weight of the words sinking in. It stumbled backward, catching itself on the edge of the table where it had been revived.
This body, this life, it is not mine, not truly. What have you done? What gives you the right to play with forces beyond your understanding?
Its voice rose as it pointed an accusatory claw at the scientists, its rage and confusion boiling over.
Who are you? What purpose do I serve in your twisted experiment?
Dr. Johnson raised his hands in a placating gesture.
We mean you no harm. Our purpose is to learn, to understand what you are.
Dr. Johnson said carefully.
Who I am?
The creature growled, its voice venomous.
You steal me from the afterlife, fill my mind with foreign knowledge and tear me away from peace, and you dare ask me who I am?
It took a step closer, towering over the group of trembling scientists.
I will tell you who I am. I am Magnus Decidit Angelus, a being of the beyond, and I demand to know where my wife is. Where is Venus?
The room fell silent, the tension hanging thick in the air. One of the scientists finally spoke, his voice trembling. She has yet to be resurrected. We needed to ensure the experiment would work on one before attempting another. We didn't want to risk failure. Magnus's eyes widened, his expression shifting from fury to cold disbelief.
You used me as a test?
He hissed, his voice low and dangerous.
You tore me from the beyond to experiment on me?
Dr. Johnson stepped forward, his voice calm but firm.
We understand your anger, but know this, your wife will be next. We intend no harm. Please, allow us to proceed, and you will see her again.
Magnus's claws flexed, his fur bristling as his gaze burned with intensity.
You will resurrect her immediately,
he growled.
If you do anything to harm her, you will answer to me.
Dr. Johnson nodded, signaling his team to prepare the second set of remains.
We will proceed right away. Follow us, and you will see that we mean what we say.
Dr. Johnson said, calmly. The creature, Magnus, relented, though the tension in his body remained. His amber eyes never left the scientists as they moved on to their tasks, his mind swirling with questions and emotions he couldn't yet make sense of. For now, only one thing mattered: seeing Venus again. Soon they came to the second chamber, where Venus's remains were laid upon another table. The dark matter crystal was carefully positioned above the ribcage, just as it had been with Magnus. The countdown began once more. Magnus watched intently, his eyes never leaving the skeleton. As the crystal made contact with the ribcage, the room was filled with the same eerie energy. The lights flickered, burst, and the skeletal remains began to shake violently. Tissue and flesh formed rapidly, and soon the figure of a second fox-like humanoid emerged. The 9 tailbones ignited in black flame, crumbling to ash as the transformation completed. The newly resurrected creature took a deep breath, its eyes flickering open. It looked around in confusion before its gaze settled on the first creature. Recognition and relief washed over its features.
Magnus!
It exclaimed, its voice trembling.
Oh, Venus!
Magnus cried out, rushing forward to embrace her.
It's all right. It's all right.
They held each other tightly, their reunion filled with emotion. Dr. Johnson observed the scene with a mixture of curiosity and satisfaction.
You are safe now. We apologize for any distress that we may have caused. Our intention is to understand your kind and learn from you,
he said, addressing both creatures. Venus looked at Dr. Johnson with cautious eyes.
You have brought us back from the beyond.
She said, her voice steady.
We will cooperate, but know this, we are not your subjects. We are beings with their own will and purpose.
Magnus nodded in agreement. We will answer your questions, but we expect respect and transparency in return. Any attempt to deceive or harm us will be met with retaliation. Dr. Johnson nodded, acknowledging their demands.
Agreed. We will ensure your safety and treat you with the respect you deserve. Let us work together to uncover the mysteries of your existence.
Dr. Johnson ushered Magnus and Venus into a more comfortable room, away from the sterile labs where they had been resurrected. He provided them with clothing, blue jumpsuits and underclothes, respectively, and allowed them some time to adjust to their new environment. Meanwhile, the NACO scientists continued to monitor and document their interactions, eager to learn more about these remarkable beings.